Hi all, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you my delicious and nutritious venison stock recipe. Really simple, really easy, you don't need a lot of ingredients or supplies. I'm going to share a few tips along the way, so yeah, let's get started. Okay, so now for the tips. So tip number one is, because we'll be using a few vegetables such as carrots, onions and garlic, I would suggest before, on a day-to-day basis when you are cooking, save all your onion skins, your tops of the carrots, or any vegetable parts that you don't need because they'll be great for the stock. So place them in a Ziploc bag, freeze them, and then you can use them on the day that you're making stock. Really great way of not wasting any food, and also you don't have to buy extra vegetables for your stock. So tip number two is, if you've got your bones, it would be best if you can saw through them in order to expose the bone, expose the bone marrow, and really get the good stuff that's inside the bone into your stock. That's really important. So if you can do that, that would be great. My boyfriend kind of did that last night. So all he did is he saw through the bone, exposed the bone, and now we can use it in our stock. Plus, it also fits a little bit better in the pot because some bones can be quite long. So yeah, those are all my tips. So let's get started and I'll show you the ingredients and all the supplies. So we have all our supplies here. We've got our jars, we've got our ice cube trays, and for the ice cube trays I'm going to show you a really good hack in the end when the stock is finished and how I use them. We've got our pots. I might need an extra one, we'll see how it is, but this one's quite a large one. I believe it's an 8-litre pot. And this one's a good one as well. You need a cheesecloth, a few, I've got 2, and then a strainer. You might only need 1, but just in case. Okay, so for the ingredients, as you can see, very simple and easy. We've got a few carrots, we've got an onion, we've got our leftovers, what I explained previously. We've got some thyme. I like to use fresh herbs. Obviously I don't have any at the moment, so I'm just using dried thyme. We've got our bones that are chopped and ready to go. So let's get started on the recipe. So you will want to turn your oven onto 200 degrees so we can get ready to cook the bones. Okay, so now that we have all our ingredients, I forgot to mention olive oil is optional when you're cooking the bones. Not necessary, I like to drizzle a little bit on them. So what we're going to do now that we've got our ingredients, supplies, everything, we are going to take our bones and we are going to cook them for about 45 minutes to an hour in 200 degrees. Put the oil on, rubbed it all over. This is an optional part, you don't have to do this. I also don't add any salt or anything at this point, I just put them straight in. So yeah, let's put them in. Okay, so now whilst we wait for the bones to cook, we can actually chop off all our vegetables, prepare them so they're ready to go in the pots once the bones are ready. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so the bones have been in the oven for about an hour and they are ready to come out. So let's get them in the pots. We'll take our thyme. Like I said, normally I use fresh herbs, but today we're just going to use the dried one. All I do is I'll sprinkle just a little bit on top, just to give it that extra flavour. So now that we have filled the pots with water, they're filled to the brim, we're going to place the lids. I leave a little bit of the lid open, so it's not fully closed, so it can come out a little bit. We're gonna put it on low heat. For about 6 to 8 hours. Keep checking on the stocks because the water does evaporate and we need to add a little bit more. So we'll leave those for 6 to 8 hours. We'll keep checking on them and check in then. It's been 6 to 8 hours now. Your stock should be ready and ready to go in our jars. We're going to firstly sieve it through the sieve. So we'll go through the cheesecloth and the sieve. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Before you know that you're going to pour the stock into the jars, I would recommend washing them and maybe sterilizing in the oven if you want. What I do, I wash them, rinse them, and then I'll pop them in the oven in 150 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. Just a quick sterilization for them. And this is a good hack that I actually got from my mom. So if you don't want to use a jar full of stock, put some stock into an ice cube tray, pop it in the freezer, and when you're cooking, you can just pop a cube out, cube or two, how much ever you like. I like to use the silicone ones because you can see that they're easier to just pop out. So we're gonna do that. Once we've sieved the stock, we're gonna let it cool for a bit because it'll get a layer of fat that we're gonna discard, and then we want just the stock into the jars or the ice cube trays. So yeah, let's get cracking. So I'm just going to start with this one. Please be careful when taking out I don't have actual tools to take them, so I just always use 2 forks. Just be careful when taking out. I'm just going to put them in this bowl and then we can put them in the compost. Now we're going to strain it. So we've got our strainer and the cheesecloth. So I like to take a big bowl because I think it's going to be quite a lot of stock. I'll leave that at the bottom for now. And I'll put that cheesecloth just over. So this is where you need some patience. And because it is a little bit hot, we're just going to do it very slowly and you just start pouring. Try to do it from this side so you can see. It's very difficult, very hot. That's that. And now this, you grab all the sides. So we're just gonna let those cool down. We're gonna sterilize our jars and get them ready for this to be transferred into jars. I just want these to be completely cooled down, put them in the refrigerator. We want a nice layer of fat that comes on top that we can just discard easily and then put into our jars. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do next. Okay, so once the stock has cooled down, this kind of layer of fat has appeared on the top. So you can just remove all of that until it's clear. I'm actually gonna strain this one more time just to get all the little bits out because I think I saw a few bits of thyme, so I just want to strain it all and remove also this fat. So now it's time to fill all our jars and our ice cube trays. I have transferred the stock into a jug because it's easiest to put into the jars, and the ice cube trays. I'm also going to use a little funnel, just a little bit easier so it's not that messy. So I'm just going to show you and then I'm going to do the rest. But yeah, so we're just going to pour. And just to make sure. Just to leave a little bit of airspace. I have also sterilized the jars and the ice cube trays so they're ready to go. I will just use this as well to fill my ice cube trays because it's just easier. It's just a little bit less messy. You want to overfill them as well, but as you can see, I'm doing that a little bit. Oops. And then what I like to do with these, just fix the parts, just push it a bit so it'll go. Okay, so now these, I'm going to put the ice cube trays in the freezer, this one in the fridge because I'm going to use this week, and I'm going to do the rest now. So here you have it, guys. We've got a lot of stock that we're going to mostly freeze and then use some this week as well. But yeah, here we have some delicious venison stock for a very long time. As you can see, I've got 4 big jars and 4 smaller ones, and then 2 ice cube trays for just easy access venison stock when I'm cooking. Okay, so with the venison stock, it lasts up to a week in the fridge and up to 6 months in the freezer. So you can save it. If you make a big batch, you don't have to worry about that it's going to go wasted. Pop it in the freezer, it'll last you a very long time. Right, that's it, guys. A really simple, really easy venison stock recipe that will last you for a very long time to give you all the nutritional benefits you need on a day-to-day basis. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I like to remind everyone that I hope you do one thing today that makes you happy. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.